Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you all to another episode of RG22 Outdoor Adventures. On the agenda today is a review of a fishing reel. The fishing reel I bought off of Amazon. I bought it off of Amazon because I wanted to see how it would work. I've read a lot about it. I've seen the reviews about it. Some are good, a lot are good, a few bad. It's a reel made by a company called Piscifun, which I've never heard of up until I started seeing some of the stuff pop up on Amazon when I've been looking for musky gear, because I just got into it a couple years ago. So it took me roughly 2 years to actually get up the nerve to buy the reel. So it's going to be more of a spare kind of thing that I'm going to use if one of my reels breaks or if someone comes on the boat and they need a reel. Anyways, the reel is made by Piscifun. Again, it's called Alijoz 300. It's a pretty stout reel. So let me give you I'll show you the reel. I'll put the reel on the table. We'll move the camera down to the level of the table. Let you guys get a good close look at the reel. I've got my Tranx 400, which we can put side by side, so that way you guys can see the side by side comparison of the two. So let's do that now. Where is it? There they are. Now let's back off a little bit. There. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see the reels. So on it would be my right, on the right hand side of the reel is my Shimano Tranx 400 HG, and so now you can see a good side by side comparison of the two reels. Excuse me. They look about the same size. I think I can go get a scale and see if the scale will weigh them, but this Alijoz seems a lot heavier. Yeah, it feels a lot heavier. But I think I'm going to get a scale and we'll see what they weigh. Hopefully the scale isn't too small. Alright, so this is a scale that I use to measure finish when I'm putting finish on. So let's get this tared out. So we're going to put the Tranx on. And it weighs 367 grams. We'll have to figure out how many ounces that is. So let's see. Ounces to grams. Let's go online and figure this out. So it's 367 ounces. Two grams. Yowzers. Oh, grams to ounces. Oops. 367 grams, 2 ounces. 12.9 ounces. So my Tranx weighs 12.9 ounces. And let's see what the Alijoz weighs. And it weighs 249 grams. So 249. Says about 9 ounces. Which are really, yeah, I guess they do. Okay, so we got about 11 or 12 ounces, and we've got about 9 ounces. Okay, so we got the weights. Now, I believe they both hold about, roughly, it looks like they hold the same amount. This one actually holds more line, the 400. I've got 80 pound on this one, I've got 20 pound on that one. So I probably should have put like maybe 40 pound on it. But it's primarily going to be something I'm going to hopefully use for bass. Anyways, handle-wise, the tranks, actually the knob looks a lot more sturdy. I can fit it better in my hand. It's got a power handle. This one just has a regular bait casting handle that you see on all regular conventional bait casting reels. The metal looks pretty stout. I think with normal use, where the reels aren't beat up, I think this would. I think they'll both last a long time. Both have push buttons. Both have excellent drags. The Alijoz gets really tight. It's got 33 pounds of drag according to the advertisements in the brochure. That's cranked. Let's see, let's crank that thing all the way down. That's cranked all the way down and I can barely move it. I can barely move that spool. So it looks like it's got a pretty good drag. You got your start, you got your tension knob for the spool, and what makes it really convenient is you have an external adjustment for your magnetic brake, whereas you don't have that on the tranks. It's internal and you got to take this cover off to get to it. So let's, other similarities to these reels. Both of them have metal frames. This one also looks like it has metal all the way around it, which is really high quality. Gives the reel a lot of durability. So that's the best part about these reels, is this is all metal. From the reel foot to the frame to the side plates, everything is metal. Very durable reel. So there we go if we're looking at price points. The Alijoz has a metal frame, and it looks like it's got lots of plastic. Plastic on the outside. I believe this is plastic out here. We'd have to take it apart to find out, or maybe scratch it and find out, but I'm really not going to do that right now. I'm going to assume from the looks of it, from the feel of it, it probably is most likely plastic. I'm just kind of seeing that, how flimsy this is, these vents here. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this part is plastic and not metal. However, the frame of it, the reel feet are metal. Okay, so now we've got that taken care of. What else about the reel that I like upon first inspection and feel? Okay, so it's very smooth when I reel it in. It's got a very smooth feel to it. When I'm free spooling, it's got a very smooth feel to it. It's got very free, it's got really nice bearings. When you take that tension off, yeah, we got some play, but if we take that tension off, it spins really nice. So I think this would probably work as a float reel too. Okay, so we'll turn this back up. Okay, so it's got that. Got a nice engagement with the clicker, or the button, the thumb button. Oh, there we go. So I guess if I just want to do that and I don't have to reel it in, I can just, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. But you can also just reel it in like every other reel does. Okay. So in that regard, it's really smooth. Has a good braking system, and the spool tension knob. Clicks so you know when you're, so you can tell where you are a little bit. Okay. The handles, you can get a really nice grip on them. Really nice grip. You can fit almost your whole hand on it, and you can really get some torque on it. It feels like. So in that regard, this is nice. And like I said, it's smooth, it's light, and it fits in the palm of your hand. So, seeing all that, we can probably go online and look at all the specs on it, or we can just go on the box and look at the specs. So let's go on the box and look at the specs. Okay. So, it has 9 ball bearings, sealed. It has a gear ratio of 8.1 to 1, so it can pick up a lot of line with little turns of the crank. So it can pick up approximately about 3 feet of line with one crank, one full revolution of the handle. The drag is probably, I think, what really sets this reel off. It's got 33 pounds of drag, and I just tested it on here for a minute, and I couldn't budge the spool. So I don't think any fish at least around here where I live in fresh water is going to pull that drag. Weight, well, we were off. It says it weighs about 11.3 ounces, which is comparable to the Tranks. So I'd say they both weigh about the same. So if you wanted to, you could probably use this on a pretty decent musky rod. Line, I've got 20-pound suffix on here. I've got 80-pound suffix on this one. It says this reel can hold 205 yards of 40-pound braid. I have 150 yards of 20-pound suffix, and then I have probably another 100 yards, maybe a little bit more, of 10-pound big game as backing. Okay. And it can hold the line just fine. So one feature that this reel has that none of my other reels have, that this one doesn't have, is it's got this little tab. Let's look it up here. Let's look it up online, and I can show it to you. There it is. Let's go to the website. Okay, it's not loading for me. Anyways, I'm sure you can see it on. If you look it up, you can find it. So basically, it's got at the base of the spool. Oh, there it comes. It just loaded. Cool. I guess it takes a while to load. Every time I set it down, it loads. Anyways, so the spool's got this tab at the very bottom of it, and you can wrap your line around it, or you can wrap your line around it, tie a knot, and tie that knot right up against it. So there's no need to tie the line around the spool, tie the knot, and hopefully it cinches down. This one, you tie it around this little tab, and you do a few cranks, pull it tight, and you crank it in, and it's tight, and you don't have to worry about the line slipping like you would, say, on any other conventional bait casting reel. So I think that's the one feature of this reel that really sets it apart from all the other reels that I have. none of them have that. Okay. So what are my thoughts about this reel? I did use it. I went to a local reservoir, just a couple minutes from the house, just to do some casting, see how far it would cast, see how smooth it is, see how it would reel in, all that stuff, and if I hooked into something, that was a bonus. So I paired it up with this 13 Fishing Defy Black. This is a medium heavy rod, and it holds, I think, 15 to 25 pound line. Will cast up to 1.5 ounce lures, which is something which is fine for me. So there's the rod reel mated together. And it has a nice balance to it. It has a really nice feel. The rod isn't tip heavy, so it balances out the rod nicely. So what were my initial thoughts on this reel? I'll tell you what my initial thoughts were. My initial thoughts on the Piscifun Alijoz 300 is that at first glance, at first use, it feels like a quality reel. I think it feels like a reel that should be higher, it's probably higher than its price point. I think it would be a very good competitor to some of these higher end reels. But with that said, compared to my Tranks, which is all metal, no plastic in it whatsoever, it's a completely metal body reel. The two don't compare. They don't compare at all. I would think the Tranks is way higher quality, and I don't think the reel could compete with the Tranks. However, if you are getting into, say, I bought this reel to catch muskie, to fish for muskie. If you're getting into muskie fishing, or like I said, fishing for larger fish, using larger lures, heavier gear and tackle, and you're just starting to get into it, and you don't want to break the bank because some of the stuff can get pretty expensive, this is a perfect reel to get. It's a perfect reel to start with. Reason being, it's in a really good price point. It's a lot of bang for its buck. It's got a lot of features. It's smooth. It's got all the things that a high-end reel has for a third of the price. My initial casting, my initial thoughts. Would I recommend this reel to someone who just is thinking about getting into this? Absolutely. I would recommend that they buy this and use it as something to learn on, something to beat up, because it's not a $300 reel. So if it breaks, it breaks. You're not out a lot of money. And then later on, when you're ready to upgrade, you upgrade. So, upon my review, I like the reel. I really do. I want to see how it works when I hook into a fish. But as of right now, my first impressions are this is a pretty good reel, and it's got some quality to it. It's got a lot of bang for the buck, and I think that's what we all want. We all want bang for the buck. So yes, I would recommend this reel to people, and you're going to see a short clip of me casting with it. So I hope this, okay, so just remember, and I will tell you that I was not given this reel by this company. I have no affiliation with them whatsoever. I bought this reel with my own money on my own accord to see how I would like it and how it would work. So take that for what you will, and where are we here? Let's raise this up. Okay, we don't need a close up of me. There we go. Okay. So take that what you will. I hope this video has helped you out. I hope it's helped you out if you've been looking at this reel online on Amazon for quite a while, and you're kind of gun shy about taking that next step and getting the reel. I hope this review has helped you out a little bit. I've given you my opinion. I used it for maybe an hour or so casting. I thought it cast nice. I thought it worked really good. I thought for what it is, it's an excellent reel, and I would highly recommend this to someone who's just getting started. And again, I bought that reel with my own money. No one gave it to me. So hopefully that means something to you viewers. So thank you again for watching. I appreciate your time, and I hope this review helped you guys out. So don't forget to hit the like button down there, the subscribe button down there, and there's a little share arrow. You can share this video. You can hit share, copy a link, and text it to all your friends if you think it works, if they're talking about this reel or any other video that I have that's fishing. Alright, so on the next video, see you guys later. Have a great day. Thanks again.